Barbra Streisand is a multi-award-winning singer, songwriter, actress, and director, but she had to overcome some challenging challenges in order to become the iconic figure she is today. Diana Rosen and Emanuel Streisand, the birth parents of Streisand, lived in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Father of the actress was a high school instructor. Sadly, he passed away at the age of 15 months after an epileptic attack. After her husband passed away, Rosen continued to struggle to support Streisand and her brother Sheldon, despite working as a secretary in the New York City public school system. The actress admitted that their rent for the flat was $40,000. She and her mother would share a small one-bedroom apartment, with her brother who would sleep in a fold-out cot in the same room. Streisand's family moved to the projects after leaving Williamsburg when she was 7 years old, where they paid $104,000 in rent. It was the biggest improvement for her at the moment. The singer's modest beginnings will always be a part of her. Streisand recalled making a doll from a hot water bottle. "You utilize your imagination when you don't have anything," she remarked. One of the women who used to look after Streisand even sewed her a water bottle doll, a sweater, and hat. She was so moved that she claimed Streisand was poorer than her, as she related the tale to talk show host Oprah Winfrey. Streisand may have had it tough, but she valued her lack of a comfortable upbringing. She cherished how resourceful she was in creating any toy she desired. In an interview with Zane Lowe for her new album, Release Me Too, singer Barbra Streisand reflected on the start of her career. She grew up having the reputation of being the talented singer who didn't have a father while everyone else did. Streisand felt like she was always in the background, and nobody noticed her for the majority of her youth. Despite the fact that she was complimented for her superb voice, Streisand chose acting as her profession of choice because singing was not her first option. Streisand's mother preferred something more secure for her daughter, such as teaching or working in education like her parents did. She thought a stable career with paid time off would offer her daughter the security she required. The actress does not hold her mother accountable for never encouraging her to pursue her aspirations, because she realized that her outlook was shaped by the challenging life they led. But Streisand disregarded her mother's counsel and claimed she desired satisfaction and happiness. She yearned for the kind of family that ate supper together every night. The actress worked hard to be the greatest at all she did in order to fill the gap left by her childhood. Up until she achieved her dream of becoming an actor, Streisand competed in and won singing competitions. The cinema magazines Streisand read as a child in her room are what gave her ambition. She didn't have her own bedroom until she was 13, so it served as further incentive to improve her situation. But Streisand became aware of how lacking in manners she was after she began landing jobs. Every time she was granted a role, she admitted, she never expressed gratitude. Because it was how she was raised, she ate with her feet on the table. She would see her mother eat from a pot, thus she was never taught how to behave at a table, like placing a napkin on her lap. In addition to having a difficult time at home, Streisand also experienced bullying because of her appearance. They recognized her talent, but criticized her for being slender and thin. She was described as a strong worker, but also as untrustworthy and self-centered. Although having endured numerous trying circumstances and nasty remarks made about her, Streisand has one of the longest-lasting careers, spanning more than 6 decades. She has been in numerous films and on Broadway. Streisand was once one of the top-selling recording artists, and she has at least 1 Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Award to prove it. According to estimates, Streisand is worth $425 million. She smashed the previous record and made history by becoming the first artist to have a #1 album for 6 decades in a row. Her concerts have also brought in hundreds of millions of dollars. The actress was fortunate enough to discover the ideal person to spend the rest of her life with, in addition to being bestowed with a record-breaking career. her husband showed her love. Streisand and James Brolin have been together for nearly 25 years, and the bond between them keeps growing. During a blind date in 1996, they connected. Both Streisand and Brolin, who are 54 and 56 years old, have children from prior unions. After dating for 2 years, Streisand and Brolin got married in the garden of their Malibu home. It was a stunning ceremony. Brolin was ecstatic following the ceremony and emphasized how fortunate he was to have a devoted spouse at his age. Every night is a brand new experience. It is a waste of time to sleep. He gushed, "I can't wait to see her again in the morning." Brolin, who has been married for almost 20 years, said he takes each day as it comes, but counseling is the key to a lasting relationship. Brolin thought that any troubled relationship should seek counseling. He mentioned that many marriage issues can be resolved by using a third party who is impartial to facilitate improved communication. About the interplay between him and his wife, Brolin stated he admired Streisand's courage in speaking her mind. He feels more at ease in his relationship and loves that his wife challenges him to do things he never thought he could. Brolin also remembered the time they had spent cooped up in the house during the outbreak. He observed that many marriages failed during the months when people were cooped up, yet his marriage had the exact opposite effect. He said he became deeply in love with Streisand. Because they always made sure to speak things out, they had mastered communication to the point where none of them had ever left after an argument. Also, they keep things exciting by making each other feel unique, and Streisand is adept at coming up with novel methods to express her love for her spouse. Brolin claimed that on occasion, he would receive SMS telling him to head straight home where a considerate and pleasant surprise would be waiting. In an effort to compliment his wife, Brolin also made an effort, but given the splendor of their home, it is not surprising that the couple has enjoyed a perfect marriage for more than 20 years. Living at their lake home, according to reports, Streisand and Brolin's Malibu property cost less than $20 million when they bought it, but it is now estimated to be worth about $80 million. The actress is wealthy enough to care for her lovely home. Streisand has updated her house with distinctive flowers and the best artwork. Although they already had a lot of facilities, Brolin and his wife just needed to make a little amount of additions to their property, which they have owned since the 1990s. A mill house, a barn, and what they dubbed Grandma's home are all included in the property. Despite having a large home, Streisand is incredibly organized and follows the guideline of not storing anything she doesn't need. Streisand is of the opinion that if something is no longer useful to her, it should be donated to someone else who will value it and need it. The actress's home had a distinctive appearance before she could afford it because she has always had a talent for exquisite art. "I used to buy used picture frames and hang them on plain white walls because I didn't have the money to buy art, which I thought was lovely," she said. But the harder she toiled, the more she daydreamed about the artwork that would eventually adorn her house. Streisand was so fastidious that she planned out exactly how and where each piece of fine art would be displayed in her home when she first began collecting it. But she also has other impressive possessions in her house, like her awards. 8 Grammy Awards, 2 Oscars, 8 Golden Globe Awards, and 3 Primetime Emmy Awards are displayed by the actress. Everything that Streisand adores and has been an inspiration is represented inside the house. The living area contains a stainless steel fireplace with panels on the mantel. The bedroom was modeled after a room Barbra Streisand stayed in while visiting San Francisco. According to the actress, it resembles the 1930s Bigelow original in every way. Some of Streisand's favorite architects include Frank Lloyd Wright, who was famed for borrowing from costumes as inspiration for furniture designs. Pink paradise is in her bathroom. The corridor leading to her closet is lined with a length of pink carpet. The scenery outside is much more stunning. The actress owns a lovely garden. It is furnished with red and white furnishings that complements the vibrant flowers that surround the building. The magnificent plants that surround Streisand's gray barn really stand out in this flower lover's paradise. In the portion of the home that faces the pool, the garden has a white-covered deck bordered by roses. Streisand's house features a lake, which raises the bar even higher. The actress and her spouse use it as a tranquil retreat to go boating or to collect their thoughts. The actress purchased a property and made it into the home of her dreams. Because of its size, you must pass through a little floral corridor to reach the main entrance. Her garden's central wishing well serves as the perfect finishing touch. It was surrounded by more flowers and had a rose arch above it, just like the whole of the area. The ideal haven for Streisand to unwind is her Malibu home. Also, it serves as a constant reminder to her younger self that she achieved her goals and got the happiness she yearned for as a little child.